Hello, my name is Jeff Meyer, and this is my final paper proposal for EIU 4106G War Stories. The primary text that I plan on using for this assignment is The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway, which is a novel revolving around a lost generation of individuals who were greatly affected by the living during World War I. Each of the characters in the book presents their own significant issues as they try to live through normal lives in the post-World War era. The subject I would like to present for the proposal would be the effects of post-traumatic stress disorder, and specifically the effects that post-traumatic stress disorder had on the characters of the novel The Sun Also Rises. Post-traumatic stress disorder is an anxiety disorder suffered as a result of being exposed to life-threatening or terribly frightening incidents. I would evaluate several of the different characters of the Lost Generation, such as Jake Barnes, Lady Brett Ashley, and Bill Gordon, and determine whether they display some of the effects of post-traumatic stress disorder, and if so, how they cope with these effects. I will be conducting extensive research in the area of post-traumatic stress disorders and relating my findings to the subjects in the novel. I think a lot of the members of the so-called Lost Generation were probably victims of this type of illness, as the effects of the Great War were so significant and affected a lot of the people. A lot of the characters in The Sun Also Rises reflect the symptoms of PTSD, so I think I will be interesting to evaluate them as part of the project. I'm interested in this topic because I've done a lot of research in psychology over the years, and post-traumatic stress disorder is one of the topics that I find very interesting. Furthermore, I've had several friends who have recently returned from Afghanistan and Iraq, and they are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. More personally, as an Army veteran and current police officer, I do believe that early on in my career, I probably suffered acutely from post-traumatic stress disorder. I think I have some personal experience in this topic in a way, and I also feel it would be very interesting to evaluate characters for the signs and symptoms of a serious but certainly mysterious anxiety disorder. As I stated earlier, the background that I have in this topic is both educational and personal. I have witnessed several of my friends suffer from the disorder over the years, some of which now are medically retired from the military due to its effects. On a more personal note, I feel I have suffered from PTSD early on in my police career and have overcome its effects, and I can relate to many of the characters in the novel. I also studied PTSD in a few psychology courses, and I think it would be interesting to do more research in a disorder that truly interests me. This planned paper relates to what we've been doing in this class because it evaluates a classic World War I novel that we have studied during the course. And it covers an important disorder that a lot of ex-military people suffer from returning after the war. Many bad things happened during World War I, and I don't think a lot of American people really understand what some of these people were exposed to. They certainly don't fully understand why this post-World War generation was lost, so I think my research paper will help me understand it better as well. The key question that will guide my investigation in the text will be how the effects of post-traumatic stress disorder apply to the characters of The Sun Also Rises. I haven't had any problems analyzing the primary text, and the secondary text I would like to use for the assignment is called The Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Sourcebook by Glenn R. Schiraldi. I would also use several smaller online resources as well. I've not run into any problems finding or using sources, as the present material on this subject is pretty extensive. Thank you for the opportunity to do this project, and I am looking forward to seeing what the end result looks like.